Good evening, everyone. Hi, guys. Hello to everyone who is joining us live tonight for our continuing education webinar, I've Got My Oils, Now What? And hello to all of my replay viewers as well. I'm really looking forward to sharing this information with you guys because I know so many of you have been asking for it. I often get messages and texts and calls, usually the day that someone gets their kit, sometimes in the week that they get their kit, and they're like, what do I do? Even though they've been to a class, it's such an overload of information that sometimes that information just isn't retained at all, which I totally get. I was exactly the same. And sometimes because these oils are so multi-purpose and they can be used for so many things, it's a little bit overwhelming to feel like you don't really know where to start. So what I want to offer for you guys tonight is a bit of a roadmap of what I recommend when people start their oils journey with me, what I have identified as being the most bang for your buck when you start. So my goal is to get you guys on the journey of feeling good quickly, so that you're in a place of being able to do whatever it is that you want to do with your life. So we're going to break that down a bit further. I'll give you some practical uses for the oils, some ideas, some inspiration, and also some resources that I recommend that you guys get your hands on, or some tools that you can use to make some DIY things and all of that kind of thing. So let me just pull up my little... Let me share my screen with you guys. Cool. Hopefully we're good. If someone can type in the chat for me. Okay, cool. So transitioning to an oily lifestyle made simple. Hang on, here we go. If everyone just jumps on, hey Al, how are you?
Hi, good, how are you?
And if everyone just jumps on mute as well, just in case for background noise, I'm just recording for the video, that'd be awesome. All right, so let's dive in. So for those of you who don't know me, my name's Jess. I'm the founder of the Bend It Like Pretzel community, or the BILP tribe, BILP community. So that's a little acronym which I like to think of: be in love and presence. And for me, that's the cornerstone of what these oils provide, the ability to come back to love and to presence on a daily basis. So these are all the different ways that you can get in touch with me on Facebook, YouTube, and all of that kind of thing. So the first thing I want to say before we dive in is that none of the info that I'm going to share with you guys tonight is intended as medical advice that would overrule anything that your doctor recommends. There is a safety toolkit in the BILP Tribe page. It's in the pinned post there. So I recommend that before anyone starts playing around with oils, that they familiarise themselves with that toolkit. It is quite chunky, but even if you just have a look through, a bit of a glance through, you'll get a bit of a gist for how to use your oils safely. Always listen to your body. That's number one. That's going to tell you more than anyone else can. And check with your doctor first if you're pregnant, or if you're under a doctor's care for treatment for something like cancer or something like that. There is more information about medication contraindications in the safety toolkit that you guys can check out. But if in doubt, check with your doctor, pretty much. And before we dive in a little bit more on safety, so we did go over this in the Essential Oils 101 classes, or the Reduce Your Toxins classes, or whichever class that you attended with me. But just to recap again quickly about safety, know your body. Just check if you're using oils on your kids, just check your dilution strengths and that kind of thing. Patch test first for new oils. Diluting just means mixing with the carrier oil, as you guys all know. doTERRA sell a really good one, fractionated coconut oil, which you can see on the screen there. Or you can just get jojoba oil or almond oil or sunflower oil or something like that from your health food store. If you do have a reaction, apply the carrier oil onto wherever you've applied the essential oil, just to kind of diffuse the situation, and then remove with soap and water. So let's dive straight in. So you get your kit and you think, okay, cool, I know that I have just invested in this box of amazingness, but how do I start? What do I do with this other than just putting the diffuser on, which is a beautiful place to start. So the first thing that I want to say is come from a place of excitement, and this being such a beautiful new chapter, such a beautiful new way for you to care for yourself and for your family. And I would say that it's just the little things over time. If you can do the little things consistently, that is going to yield the biggest results. So I'd say be consistent with using your oils. Small steps over time, just what I've written here on the screen. Letting go of perfection. You don't need to know everything about the oils to start getting the benefit from them. Keeping it to budget. So this is an interesting one because obviously we're talking about the best quality essential oils in the world. And with essential oils, you get what you pay for. So doTERRA is definitely a premium product. So make it work for you. Take advantage of things like the loyalty rewards program. Earn your free points. Earn your points for free product. Come up with a roadmap of the next 3 months of what are the key things that you want to focus on for yourself and for your family, and just stick to that if you can. You know, if you're working with a budget, especially if you've invested in a kit to start, a kit is often the most expensive purchase that people make with doTERRA. So the key thing that I want to say is we want this to feel good and not stressful, and that includes financially. So coming from a place of love and not fear, making it work for us. Yes, sometimes we need to do a little bit of initial stretch when we're changing a lot of things, but just be mindful of your mindset around this whole process and trying to switch it back into joy and love and not fear. And then I would say when you get your kit, or even before you get your kit, get some basic DIY tools. They don't have to cost a lot. Most people start with the Home Essentials kit, so you've already got your diffuser. Order some glass rollers, or I send some in the welcome pack if you get started with the kit. Spray bottles for home cleaners. Castile soap just from your health food store, baking soda from any supermarket, and some carrier oil. So either fraction of the coconut oil, olive oil in your cupboard if that's okay for your skin, whatever you've got. So where to start? So when we talk about wanting to yield the biggest results the most quickly, in my opinion, there is a hierarchy of things that I believe are good to focus on right at the beginning. So I've written those here. So the first one is supporting your emotional well-being. So for me, that is the non-negotiable baseline number one thing that everyone should be doing when they first get their oils, before even focusing on some of the other stuff, even reducing toxic load. I think the most important thing to get in check is your emotional state, your mindset, all of that kind of stuff. Because once that is feeling more supported, once you're feeling more elevated, once you're feeling like you're in a better state, all of the other stuff, the physical stuff, replacing things that are toxic in your home, all of that is just a byproduct of feeling good. Whereas if you start with that outside stuff without addressing the core thing of how you're feeling, sometimes that stuff can really feel like a struggle rather than, or an overwhelm rather than an extension of just a feel-good state. So I think at least for the first month, it's super important to be using your oils, integrating them into your life, but focus first on your emotional well-being. So things like if you suffer from anxiety, if you suffer from depression, if you suffer from any kind of stress, which is all of us, or mood disorders or sleeping problems, or things that are really impacting your ability to enjoy life in the day-to-day, that's where you should start. And the top 10 oils really have your bases covered for that. And I'll talk a little bit about some resources that can help kind of guide you for more specific ways to use those oils, because there are some really great, easily accessible tools for that, things like the Mon Essentials app. So I would say always start, number one, with your emotional well-being. Then start to work on your vibration, your mindset, starting to shift more into that positive thinking way of living. however I'm trying to say that. So what I like to do is have associations. So for example, every time that I'm working on my business, I either have diffusing or I wear as a perfume the oil Passion. And because of that, and I usually only work on my business when I am in a feel-good state. And because of that, whenever I smell the oil Passion, I have a really positive association with it. And it's able to kind of anchor me to that feeling and bring me back into that feeling if I'm maybe not feeling that jam that day. So that's the kind of stuff when I'm talking about raising your vibration, self-care, taking time for you and using the oils as nourishment for your soul. So I think that's number 2. Number 3 is supporting your physical well-being. So things like, exercise support, using things like Deep Blue, things like, lavender for sleep and peppermint for headaches and, all of your first aid uses and that kind of thing. And number 4, and sometimes these things can kind of all come at the same time, but if you're looking to want to reduce the overwhelm, this is the order I'd say to start in. Number 4 would be to start to reduce the toxic load in your life. So starting to replace the cleaning products in your home, starting to replace the things that you're reaching for first, for first aid and all of that kind of thing. So just start wherever you feel drawn to. Pick one thing per week and see how you go with that. Don't try and do everything at once unless you are one of those gung-ho people where you just want to throw everything out and start completely again, which is totally fine and that might totally work for you if you're an all or nothing kind of person. But if you're not, I would say small, consistent steps over time. And before you know it, a year down the track, you'll look back and think, wow, I have transformed so much. So when you get started, I think the Modern Essentials app is such a beautiful and accessible tool for everyone. I think it's $13 from the App Store. It's available on iPhone and Android. And it's basically like a little dictionary or encyclopedia for oils. So you can look up ailments, conditions, illnesses, and you can also look up essential oils and see what corresponds to what. And so that's just, I refer to that app every day. There are a few great books. One's called The Essential Life book, if you're someone who likes something physical, and the Emotions and Essential Oils book as well is a great one. doTERRA blog is fabulous for recipes and DIY ideas and all of that kind of thing. Really comprehensive, loads of great info on there, so I definitely recommend checking that out. Check out the ebooks that you guys get gifted when you join the team. So Alice's High Vibe Life book, My Beauty Oils book for DIY skincare, and Ange Peters' Happy Hippie Guide as well. In the Bilk Tribe group, I'm obviously posting lots of ideas daily to use your oils, so you can use that for inspiration. The other Facebook communities that you become a part of when you join the team, and also really take advantage of that one-on-one consult that I offer you guys. It's complimentary with your enrollment, and you can contact me if you are a member in the team but you haven't had yours yet, because I can really help you dive into how to get the most out of your oils tailored specifically for you. So once we consider those hierarchies of where to start, to focus it a little bit more, I want to talk tonight about the 3 key areas for maximum impact. And those 3 areas are your home, your body, and your life. So it sounds quite broad, and I guess it is, but we're going to break those down a bit further. So to start with, in your home. So one of the easiest things that you can do with your oils is diffuse them, right? Replacing things like synthetic candles, synthetic sprays and fragrances and that kind of thing, stuff which we know contains, or even the word fragrance is a bit of an alarm bell word, because they contain things called phthalates, which are hormone disruptors, and they're known carcinogens. So they're things that they're so easy to replace in our home. So they're one of the first things which are easy to just replace with your essential oils. Use your diffuser instead. Your oils are going to kill airborne pathogens during sickness and seasonal transitions as well. Things like your On Guard and your Breathe and your tea tree or your lemon or eucalyptus. You can use your blends or your lavender and your lemon and that kind of thing to fragrance and uplift the energy in your home. And you can also make some DIY sprays for in your bathroom and in your toilet or in guest rooms. So the key tools for replacing or improving the quality of air in your home would be your diffuser, definitely. Glass atomizer bottles, we want to be storing essential oils in glass, and that's because the essential oils, they start to break down plastic and leach that into whatever the product is. And obviously, if you've done a bit of research about plastic, that's obviously not such a great thing when we're talking about things like hormone disruption and cancer-causing agents as well. Obviously, your essential oils are a key tool for that. So one resource that I really love that I order my glass atomizer bottles from is a website called packmyproduct.com.au. Really good quality, cheapest prices I've found. They're in Australia and they ship really quickly and cheaply. So definitely check those out. I'll make these slides available as well, so don't feel like you have to take a ton of notes. Okay, cool. So after we look at the air quality in our home, this comes into reducing your toxic load, but just for keeping home together, let's talk a bit about cleaning. So all of your home cleaning needs can be made over using essential oils and some basic ingredients. And I've listed those here under key tools. So some ideas for this: you can make a really simple DIY all-purpose spray for bench tops, high chairs, spill cleaning up and bathroom surfaces. And I'm going to pop a link in the Built Tribe with all of the recipes that I mentioned in tonight's webinar, so that you guys can have them in a quick, easy reference book. Another idea: add 3 drops of lemon oil to your dishwashing powder instead of using something like Finish. It really gets glass sparkling. You can also add a dash of vinegar in there as well. You can make a shower cleaning paste and a mold busting spray. I just posted those in the Built Tribe this week, but I will include them in the little reference guide. And that's going to replace your bleach and your ammonia-based products in your bathroom. And bathroom is an interesting one, because when you think about we turn on our hot shower or our hot bath, we're releasing obviously it's creating steam and we're breathing that right in. So whatever we're cleaning our bathroom with, those fumes aren't just contained to when we're cleaning. They are also, being inhaled on a daily basis, especially when we add the heat. You can make your own laundry detergent, like a washing liquid for in your washing machine. There's also a soaker recipe that I'm going to give you guys as well. And then simply you can just add 3 drops of essential oil to your dryer if you use a dryer to scent and freshen your load. So one of my favorite oils for that is called Elevation. It's heavenly. It's got lemon and a few different other things in there. So key tools for replacing your home cleaning would be glass spray bottles, and that's for your all-purpose cleaners and your glass cleaners and all of that kind of thing. Castile soap. So the one that I use is called Dr. Bronner's. You can order it online or you can get it from any health food store. You want to get some white vinegar, and that is cheap as chips from any supermarket. Some baking soda, obviously your essential oils, so whatever's included in your top 10 is a great start. And then the places where you get those things. So Glass Bottles Direct have some really good glass spray bottles for a great price. They're Australian and their shipping's really reasonably priced as well. They also have other storage bottles as well, like roller bottles and that kind of thing. And then I order my Castile soap from Nourished Life, because they have a pretty cool little loyalty program. When you join their mailing list, you get $5. They ship for free. Their prices are the same price as health food stores, and they offer the big bulk packs of Castile soap. So that's where I get mine from. So next in the home is in the kitchen. So essential oils shine as flavors. So keeping a bunch of essential oils on hand, things that you would normally reach for herbs, and that's not to say to exclusively use oils instead of herbs, but you can use it to enhance the flavour of your dish even further, adding in all those helpful properties of the oils. And obviously they're really handy if you run out of herbs, and they can be more cost effective too, because oftentimes you just need 1 drop rather than going out and buying a whole bunch of herbs if you're not growing them yourself. doTERRA's blog, they have a whole recipe page on there full of really delicious, beautiful recipes. So some of the great oils to look at, maybe adding to your LRP cart over however many months: rosemary, thyme, basil, oregano, lemon, lime, peppermint, black pepper. Some really great ones. So they're just like the herbs, whatever herbs that you are using in your cooking. doTERRA probably has an equivalent in essential oil. And lastly, for the home, it's such a beautiful use for our oils is for first aid and wellness support. So essential oils are what I reach for first for my family before reaching for any kind of pharmaceutical products or medical products. So for headaches and migraines, trying peppermint and frankincense before paracetamol. So peppermint, rolling that on your temples, applying it behind your ears on the back of your neck. And frankincense is a fabulous one, especially if you are a migraine sufferer. You can pop a drop on your thumb and press it into the roof of your mouth, and it's just amazing at relieving that way quicker than any Panadol ever could. And that's not to say never use Panadol if that's right for you, but these are things, oftentimes people are just so blown away by the relief and how quick the relief can be from essential oils that, once they start reaching for the oils first, oftentimes they just don't end up reaching for pharmaceuticals nearly as often, and sometimes, not really ever again. For insomnia, try lavender and vetiver before sleeping pills. So lavender comes in all of the kits. Vetiver doesn't come in the kits, but it's an oil that I definitely recommend everyone invest in, especially if you have children, especially if you need to kind of calm the farm at all, which I'm sure we all need to. It's a beautiful oil. I call it, my natural Valium, because it is so anti-anxiety and just kind of brings a real calm centeredness, and it really aids in sleep. So that leads me on to anxiety. Trying vetiver and wild orange is really beautiful for anxiety as well. And that's not to say stop taking anxiety medication or depression medication, but maybe you could use these in conjunction with, or if you're not medicated, reaching for these if you just have occasional symptoms. And maybe if you're looking to reduce or get off medication, working with your doctor in conjunction with these, I know a lot of people have a lot of success. For depression, trying lemon and frankincense. For cuts and grazes, trying tea tree and lavender for antibacterial and wound cleaning support. Bites, stings and sunburn, trying lavender. Lavender is a bit of a kind of Swiss Army knife for lots of things. Bruising, lavender again, and an oil called helichrysum, which is also known as Immortelle, if you've heard of that. A really beautiful oil, super powerful. So the key tools for replacing your home first aid would be the Modern Essentials app for sure, so that you know what to reach for what ailment. Obviously your essential oils are a key tool. Glass roller bottles are really handy to keep diluted versions of your oils in your handbag or just around so that you can reach for things quickly. doTERRA also have the Touch Kit available, which you can see pictured down the side there, and that they are pre-diluted blends, so they're diluted down in coconut oil, so you can just roll those straight on as needed. And they've just announced that they are releasing the mood blends in a Touch Kit as well in October, which is super exciting. So Pack My Product again. You can get yourself a doTERRA keychain from your back office, add that to your LRP order, and that way you can kind of, pop a few drops of each of your favorite oils into that and carry it with you, so you've got them on hand if you're out and about. And glass bottles direct as well for glass rollers and spray bottles. So now let's chat a bit about our body. So the second area of focus. So with our body, the first area, I guess, to think about is using the oils externally. So the most obvious one will probably be for our skincare. So I've created an ebook for you guys, which has a bunch of DIY recipes to replace skincare. So definitely check that out. You can get a copy of that by signing up to my email list on benderlakepretzel.com. And that really will cover your bases for most of your skincare needs. doTERRA also have a beautiful skincare range called Virage, which I've just started trialing this month. So I'm going to do some before and afters for you guys, but so far I'm really liking it. Essential oils for your hair care. So you can make up some DIY hair masks. doTERRA have a shampoo and conditioner as well. And you can add essential oils into your existing hair care. So adding a drop of oil into whatever conditioner you're using right now to kind of supercharge it. And geranium is an amazing oil for your hair for adding shine and softness. Frankincense is really good. Lavender is really good. Myrrh is really good. There's a whole bunch that you can just add a drop into whatever you're already using right now. For your nails, myrrh with fractionated coconut oil or just regular coconut oil is beautiful for helping to strengthen nails. And oregano or oregano, however you say it, is amazing for combating fungal infections. So sometimes that can be the cause of why your nails are breaking. So you can look into that. Or if you've got flaky nails or nails that peel, give oregano a try. Perfume is a big one. When I decided that I was going to replace my signature perfume, which was not a natural one, it was a little bit heartbreaking because we become so attached to our smells, right? But perfumes, unfortunately, unless you're getting a super high quality natural perfume that is crafted like by an artisan, which most of us probably aren't, they contain synthetic fragrance, which we know isn't good, and they contain a bunch of other stuff as well, which are known hormone disruptors, and lots of them linked to cancer as well. So find an oil that you like the smell of, make up a roller bottle, and there's your perfume. And doTERRA have a few blends that are a little bit more, have different notes in them. So the oil Whisper, it's so beautiful. If you're a musky, warm, sweet perfume lover, you'll love Whisper. Balance is a little bit similar. It's a little bit more earthy and woody. In Tune is for the patchouli or the floral lovers. You can just go with straight oils as well. Lavender, frankincense, and patchouli just on its own are popular choices for replacing perfume. And then you can just carry that roller bottle with you through the day and reapply. And then something called aromatic dressing for using externally on your body. It's basically just a full body massage each morning with coconut oil, and you add in a drop of whatever essential oil you're feeling drawn to for the day. So just check that the oil is okay for topical use. There are a few blends which are only for aromatic use, but they state that on the bottle. So don't rub those ones on your skin because there's a chance that they could irritate your skin. And yes, I have done that before. So key tools for this, you'll need a carrier oil of some kind. So whether that's doTERRA's fractionated coconut oil, jojoba oil, coconut oil, rosehip oil, almond oil, olive oil out of your cupboard, whatever oil suits your skin. You can add essential oils into, I should say, body lotions. So if you're using a moisturizer, if you prefer moisturizer to an oil, that's totally fine. You can add your oils into that instead of an oil if you prefer that texture. So it's probably best to go for something unscented because most products, unless you're buying something that is certified organic and it says that it is an essential oil-based fragrance, if it's listed as fragrance, it most likely contains phthalates, and that's probably something that over time we want to be getting out of our what we're putting on our skin. So from Pack My Product, they have a bunch of glass bottle options on there as well for blending and storing things like serums and lotions and cleansers. So that's something you can dive into if and when you want to look at replacing skincare with DIY recipes, and glass roller bottles for perfumes as well. So the other way that we use oils in regards to our body is internally. So as you can see, the picture here is the veggie caps. So veggie caps are probably the most recommended way to use oils internally, especially for some of the more hot oils, and especially for if you're wanting a more targeted protocol, say for sickness or something like that, and you're really wanting to get that oil into your system, popping it in a veggie cap ensures that it's getting where it needs to go rather than kind of being eaten up along the way. So for nutritional supplementation, doTERRA do have an amazing supplement range. It's only available in the US at the moment, but you can definitely order that through your back office. So if you're looking to replace your supplements, I highly recommend checking out the supplements that doTERRA have. They have a kids range as well. They've just come out with a new world-class probiotic for kids as well. Or you can just grab some veggie capsules and make your own just using the essential oils. And once again, check the bottles, because those that are safe to ingest are labelled as flavours, so you'll know it for sure. So for illness and immune support, On Guard and oregano, for example, amazing. You could pop 1 or 2 drops each of those in a veggie cap and take that internally if you're sick. Digesten, if you are someone that suffers from any kind of digestive discomfort, Digesten is amazing. I like to add a drop to my water and have it either before or after a heavy meal, or if I'm just not feeling so good in my tummy, amazing. Also really, really helpful for food poisoning and gastro and diarrhea and all of those kind of fun things. And obviously for flavouring, so using oils in your water and in your food. So peppermint, spearmint or orange in your coffee, oh my gosh, so yummy. And it blends in really nicely if you've got some fat in there as well, like milk, or add a bit of coconut oil or a bit of almond milk or something like that. You can try, we've talked about kitchen and cooking already, but things like the peppermint brownies, which I popped on the Bilk Tribe page just recently. So it's a good idea to always dilute oils that you're taking internally in a fat, especially the hotter oils like oregano and peppermint and, those kind of things, diluting them down. So adding a bit of oil into your veggie cap, olive oil is a good option before you're taking it. Things like the citrus oils, I shouldn't have said peppermint before, citrus oils, peppermint and Digesten, I find that those ones are totally fine to add to my water, and I do that all the time. I use a glass water bottle, I give it a shake, it seems to disperse really well, flavours the water beautifully, and I don't have any issues with it being hot on my mouth or anything like that. So just 1 drop in 500 mils is what I do, and that's, that's super strong tasting. You could do 2 if you prefer it to be a little bit more flavoured, but just play around and see kind of what your taste preference is. Lemon or any of the citruses are really nice to do that with. And a glass water bottle, if you can, swap from a plastic one. Just for that same reason of essential oils, if you're adding them to your water bottle, over time they are going to break down that plastic. So key tools for using oils internally: veggie caps, a glass water bottle, and the one that I use is just one of those Voss glass water bottles that you can get from any supermarket, Coles and Woolies. I think it's $4, and it comes filled with either sparkling water or plain water, and then you can just keep that bottle and reuse it. And then cold pressed organic coconut oil is a great one, and olive oil are great ones for diluting down any oils that you're wanting to eat, basically. And you can get these veggie caps in your back office, so add them to an LRP order. So then the last area that I want to talk about tonight is using oils to support you in your life. So in the day-to-day, the everyday, oils really shine for emotional support, which I touched on briefly at the start. So keeping roller bottles in your handbag throughout the day, for whatever life throws at you. Your lavender, your lemon, and your peppermint, the basic 3, keep those on you at all times because they're so multi-use. There's something super easy you can reach for. Things like Intune and Balance and Tea Tree are great ones to have on hand at all times as well. But whatever you feel drawn to and whatever you're kind of using all the time, if you can make up a roller bottle or use the keychain with the little sample vials so that you can have them with you, because if you have them with you, you're going to reach for them, right? If you don't have them with you, you obviously can't. And then the Mood Blend rollers, which are coming out in October. So those are some of you guys might not have dived so much into these blends, especially if you're new yet, but they're the blends called Passion and Forgive and Console and Motivate and Peace, and they're basically an aromatherapy range that have been scientifically crafted with certain oils that are known to cultivate certain emotional states. So for example, the blend called Peace, the oils in that have been specifically chosen to give a feeling, a peaceful feeling. Motivate gives a motivated feeling. So you just pick whatever oil that you are looking for, basically. And then the other great way to use oils is for exercise support. So swiping peppermint, Motivate, or Slim and Sassy onto your temples and behind your ears before a workout really gives you a bit of an extra boost and a little bit of an extra drive and energy to kind of do whatever you're doing physically. Massaging frankincense or in tune onto the back of your neck before yoga and meditation is such a lush, beautiful practice that really, I find it just helps me be super present and super wherever I am. They're beautiful and just, really nice spiritual smelling oils as well, just to have around you while you're doing a sacred practice. Swiping a bit of easy air or breathe, depending on which country you're in, onto the bridge of your nose. Be careful not to get it in your eyes because it does have some hot oils in there before a cardio workout to support more open airway and fuller breathing. So I really like doing that before I go for a run. And then deep blue, that's the obvious one for exercise. Anyone who is moving their body needs deep blue. Massaging that into major muscles before a workout to prevent getting sore, and then after a workout to kind of ease aching body. It's an absolute must-have, and some people, this is their kind of segue into doTERRA, and it's what sells them. Deep blue, as you guys would know from the intro class, is also an awesome oil for any kind of muscle aches and pains, for period pains and for joint pain. So for things like arthritis or spurs and that kind of thing, deep blue is amazing. And then the other thing that I want to talk about, and this goes back a bit more to the mindset thing that I mentioned at the start of the class, and that is in relation to our life, shifting more into that high vibe elevation state, that positive mindset day to day. And that is just using your oils in a sacred way, whatever that is for you, whatever feels good. So this won't be everyone's cup of tea, but it certainly is mine. I'm a yoga teacher. That's kind of where I come from. So diffusing things like frankincense on a full moon to help you let go of whatever your past cycle has been and set intentions for a new phase. Having a blend that you associate with an activity, like what I mentioned, passion with my work, and use it when you're feeling motivated and clear and in a really good place. And then you can use it as a trigger to bring you back to that feeling. It's that story of, Pablo's dog ringing the bell and salivating even when not being given a meal. Hopefully that makes sense to you guys. Because our brains are so powerful and we become conditioned to associating smells and sounds with feelings. And so use that to your advantage to help shift you back into a place of feeling good in your everyday. And then self-care sessions. So this is not a selfish thing to do. This is just an essential thing to do. It doesn't have to look like this. It can look like whatever speaks to you, but just taking time to nourish and nurture your spirit and your soul and yourself so that you can be the most lit up version of you, so that then you can serve others, whether that's your family, your friends, your team, whatever it may be. And so you can be serving yourself as well, because it feels good to be living more in line with our potential. Obviously, it feels much better than when we're not living that way. So using these as tools. And then just to quickly recap how to use them, we cover this in the intro class, but the three main ways: aromatically, internally, and topically. So you guys can just have a quick read through that, but using your diffuser, using your veggie caps or just adding them to food and water, and then using your carrier oils to apply topically, using your roller bottles as well. So I just chucked in here this little image that I made, and that's just to give a few more ideas for some of the other blends that doTERRA have on hand that are just easy, ready to go things you can kind of add into your repertoire if you feel called towards them. Things like past tense, that's down on the bottom left-hand side there is doTERRA's tension blend, and that's a nice little targeted one for things like migraines, shoulder, neck tension, and headaches as well. So that's a beautiful one just to pull one out of that pile. And then if you haven't dived into it yet, doTERRA also have a ton of other natural products, shampoo and conditioner, skincare. They're some of the supplements there, all of the beautiful blends, toothpaste and deodorant and that kind of thing. So as you go, these are nice things that you can either use your free points for if you're on LRP, to try some of these amazing products, or switching whatever you're using right now over to these more natural versions, and then earning points for them as well. So just to finish off our little talk tonight, I wanted to just tell you guys, if you're not on LRP and you're interested to learn a bit more about it, I do have a video on my YouTube channel that you guys can watch. But just in a nutshell, LRP, it's doTERRA's loyalty program, where any money that you spend, you get points back that you can then use to redeem those points for free oils and free products. So you earn between 10 and 30%, depending on how long you've been on the program, back in points to spend the following month. You receive all your shipping costs back as well. You must be on LRP for 60 days before you can start to redeem your points. So you do need to do it, commit to it for a couple of months to get the most out of it. There's no cost to join. You can cancel at any time, and there's only a 1 PV minimum spend per month, which is about $1. But I will say that the smallest item that you can purchase from doTERRA is a lip balm, and I think that's $5 or $6 from memory. So that's what you would be committing to each month. So staying on the program, why you may want to do that is so that any points that you earn, especially if you get started with a kit, you'll earn quite a few. They stay valid in the system while you're on the program. You begin to earn points with a 50 PV order or more per month. 100 PV order if you're building a doTERRA business, or you're just wanting to share the oils and maybe make a bit of commission to cover the cost of your monthly LRP order. 100 PV order qualifies you to earn commission. And then each month doTERRA releases a free product of the month. So if you place a 125 PV order on LRP, you get whatever that free product is. So some months it's changes every month, and some months are really excited and might be totally your jam, and you might want to dial your LRP order up so that you receive that free product. And then other months you might not be into whatever it is, which is totally fine. You might dial it right back and just get a lip balm or a lemon oil that month. And then you can do anything in between. So the main thing that I want you guys to take away is that you're not locked into anything. If you decide today that you want to be off the program, then you get off today. There's no penalty. But I recommend that people give it a go for at least 2 to 3 months when they start their oils journey, because that's usually the time when you're most pumped. You're wanting to order the most product and try the most things. You've started with a kit for most people. So you want to make the most of that money that you've spent, getting the most back for points. So committing to that 2 to 3 month period, coming up with a bit of a plan for how you want to space out purchases over that time, and then what you can redeem your points for. So that's LRP. And then lastly, I just wanted to throw this in here in case anyone is being called to, the business side of doTERRA, which obviously that's what I'm doing. And I feel very passionate about building a residual income pipeline for myself and for my family. Time is so important to me, and that's one of the reasons why this business model is so attractive to me. It works around me and my girls, and it's creating that pipeline that, down the road, if I wanted to, I could step away from my business and basically it's running by itself. But the community aspect and what it opens you up to in terms of personal growth, the things that I have been challenged with through building my own business, the amount of personal growth has been absolutely transformational. So it's one of those things where anyone can do this, but not everyone will. But if you feel called to do maybe something, if you feel like you're meant to serve more people, right? Or if you feel like you are meant to earn a lot of money, or if you feel like you want more time with your family, or if you feel like you're not super pumped about whatever it is that you're doing in your life right now, and you may be looking for something different. If you're a mum on maternity leave, if you're about to have a baby, any of those and all of those situations, check out the Biz Opportunity Guide that I've linked on the bottom there. Have a read through, and if you feel pulled, then just send me a message and we'll just have a bit more of a chat about it, pressure-free, bullshit-free, excuse my French, and I can just let you guys know exactly what's involved, what it looks like, and you can see whether that might be a fit for you. And then for those of you guys who haven't gotten started with oils yet, if you're wondering how to order, here's how. Just head to that link on the bottom there. I've linked the little getting started guide as well if you're not quite sure what you're after yet. So the 3 ways that you can order are either with an enrollment kit, which is the best value way to order. And I've listed some of the kits you can see in the pictures there on the right-hand side. You can do a custom order, so you don't have to start with a kit. You can just pay the $35 membership fee and then order whatever you like individually. And then obviously the LRP, which is the monthly order ship that we talked about. So that's it pretty much for tonight, guys, for some ideas of how to get started. If you have any questions, you can type them in the chat box now, or you can email me at bendelacpretzel, or post it on the Built page as well, and I can answer it publicly so everyone can get the answers. And I will also link the recipes from tonight's webinar on the Built page as well, and I'll upload this to either YouTube or Vimeo so that I can pop a little password on it, because I just want it to be a bit of a value add for our tribe. So that's pretty much it. If there's no questions, then I guess we'll call it a night for tonight, and I will connect with you guys again in the Built tribe. And please contact me if you have any questions. I'm always happy to either answer them or guide you to whatever info that I can. Let me see if I can, hang on. Stop share. Okay, we're back. Yeah, cool. Hey! So that's it for tonight, guys. If there's no questions, then I'll let you go and enjoy your lovely Monday evening. And I'll upload this and put the link in the Built tribe once it's live online. Okay, have a beautiful night, and I'll hopefully talk to you all soon. Bye.